Last time we talked. I mean, I really got in there blended. And, I know we talk about blending stumps a lot and we use blending stumps, but when it comes down to finishing touches, I like to use my finger because then I can kind of have a little bit more control over it. I feel like I'm sort of sculpting with the charcoal a little bit when I do that. So I went in and super blended it. I wanted her skin to look really soft and super hyper blended. So I went in and went really, really aggressive with that. So it's your choice. If you want it to look like that, you can. If you want to leave some of the texture and the line quality of the charcoal or your blending stump, that's your choice as well. Then I went in and I did a lot of blending in the hair, and I went kind of back and forth between erasing with my eraser to get line, and then going back in with the charcoal and kind of like putting a dark line right next to the erase line. That sort of creates like a three-dimensional hair when you do that. And then I went back in with my blending stump, and I just kind of go back and forth until I get the texture that I want. So the details now. Did I give you guys white charcoal? Yes, okay. So this is where we can have fun with the white charcoal and we can really make things pop. But before we do that, I'm going to think about my background. Now this is an opportunity to do something fun. You can put a pattern in here. You can put something fantastical. It's really kind of up to you. But for me, I think I'm just going to keep it simple and maybe put just like a pattern. Maybe I'll just do like a polka dot.
Miss Greninger,
Yeah.
when we do the background, do we have to use the charcoal?
No, if you want to experiment with another material, go for it. That sounds kind of fun. You mean like, I wouldn't put paint on this paper because it could really make it wrinkle, but any kind of drawing material or pens, or what were you thinking?
I don't know. I just wanted to know.
Yeah, you can go in with some chalk pastel or some markers or pencil or whatever. Yeah, make it fun. So this will give it more depth because this pattern is going to be behind her. And then maybe I can even have fun and like make my polka dots 3D. So I'm going to add a dark left side here and then a highlight on the right. I'm a big fan of polka dots. They're very graphic. It makes something look like it's kind of vibrating and popping out at you. And I might just use my finger, and all of a sudden I have a three-dimensional dot. You know, and maybe the style of your background is different than the way you drew your face. Maybe you have a very cartoon style in the background. That might be kind of fun to have some contrast of styles. You know, think about the personality. You might even want to give your person a name. Like, what's this person's name? You sort of created this person out of thin air when you started from the skull, right? So, like, who is this person? I'm gonna put some stripes behind. Did you guys want to name her for me? What should her name be? Anyone want to be bold and drop a name in? I'm not looking at the chat right now. You just shout it out.
Stella.
Stella. Stella. I love it. Have you guys seen Rocky? How many people here have seen
Donna,
Rocky?
and I like that one.
What's that?
Someone in the chat said Donna, and I kind of like that one.
Donna? I could combine those two names, although I don't know if Stella and Donna really go together. Donna Stella. Oh, that's pretty. Like Donatella. Donna Stella. All right, that's her name, Donna Stella. All right, see how quick that was? You can make it more detailed, but you get the idea, and that adds some fun, right? Okay, So finishing touches on the face. I'm going to get in there with my extreme shadow and my extreme highlight. Start with the shadow. Well, you know what she's missing. She needs some eyebrows, you guys. It's feeling kind of bad that I didn't give her eyebrows. So I'm going to go in there and actually make the hair little follicles. I'm going to draw it like that. Whew, that's a high brow right there. Maybe I'll thicken it up. I'll give her a thick eyebrow. Maybe a little blending. She looks surprised. Not sure about those yet. I'm gonna work on it. They look a little bit off. Okay. Okay, so I think she needs a deeper shadow on this side of her nose. See how much that pops? That makes that nose pop. Just that tiny little black line, I'm going to blend it just a smidge, makes it pop. And then the nostril, I think, needs a deeper shadow right there. And then maybe on the edge of her nose, a little deeper shadow. Maybe the purse between her lips here needs a little deeper shadow. Maybe the curve, like the darkest part of the shadow under her chin can get a little darker, and maybe the line along her jaw. You see how those things just make it pop? And maybe a little deeper shadow like underneath her hair. Shadow of her bangs can really make it pop. Shadow next to her face here. Maybe even some darker shadows kind of mixed into her hair. Can give her some texture. These little details will really make your drawing look more realistic and more three-dimensional. So work on it more than, oops. If I sit still for too long, the lights in my classroom go off. I'm gonna give her maybe a little bit of makeup, not too intense, but like maybe a little mascara, some tiny little eyelashes, and maybe a little bit down here too. Have fun with this part. This will add personality to your figure, to Donatella here. Let's see, maybe some big earrings, you guys. Maybe she needs some big like hoops or something. And maybe drop a little highlight in there. All of a sudden she's got hoops. Okay, so work on that a little bit more. Don't go as fast as I did, and then the white. The white is the very last thing you do, and don't add too much of it, okay? Really, take advantage of the fact that you've already erased quite a bit. Now I'm just gonna drop a little bit in there where I think the brightest highlights might be. And I'm gonna blend them just a smidge. I don't want to lose that bright, but I don't want to have it look like a line. So wherever that face is sticking out, that's where you're gonna find the highlight. So the brow line sticks out, right, in the top of the forehead, right, the part that sticks out the most. This white charcoal is really hard. You're going to find that it's not as soft as your compressed charcoal, so you're going to get a line when you draw with it. And then in the eyes, definitely like bring out some of that white of her eye. And then that little white reflective dot is going to make her eye look alive and wet. A little bit, and then maybe a little highlight on her eyelid, maybe a little bit up here. Okay, where else does she need a highlight? What else sticks out on the face?
The lips.
The lips. So, especially the middle part. Okay, and what else sticks out? Cheekbones. Did I say it too quick? Was someone about to say that? You know, and I recommend that you know, I know you're not drawing yourself, but look at your own face, because your face is a good example of what's in highlight. Chin. Jawline. Oh, you know what we're missing is this little shadow under the lip. I mean, you really could just work on this forever, right? You could really just keep adding a bunch of details. And the lip sort of sticks out there, so there's going to be highlight underneath it. And then, of course, you could work on highlights in her neck, you know, the collarbone. You could put, you know, maybe she's, right now it looks like she's sort of wearing a tank top or something. So let's add maybe some straps here. All right, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I could tell you or teach you before I set you free here. Maybe some flex in the eyebrow. Definitely some highlights in the hair. Even the darkest hair has highlights because it's a reflective surface, and that light is going to bounce off that reflective surface and create a lighter value. So don't go too crazy with it, just the highlights. All right, guys, any questions before I set you free to work? No? Okay.
I actually have one question.
Okay.
I forgot how to do hair. Did you post a video of doing the hair?
I did, and well, let me double check and I'll go back, and if I didn't post it yet, I will, because I did take a video of the last time I worked on this.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, guys, so we get out of class at 3. It is now about 2:17 or 2:19. So what I would like to do is have you work for for a half an hour. So come back at 2:50 and post a whip that's worth points. Make sure to do it, and if you need help, I'm here and I can demo for you and offer assistance. Okay? All right, you are dismissed.
I'm sorry, Miss Granger, but I didn't hear what time we come back.
2:50.
Okay. Miss Granger,
Uh-huh.
are we able to stay on?
Of course.
Okay.